So I finally reached 100 subscribers, and for some reason I thought it'd be cool to make a video sharing my lessons along the way, what I've learned on YouTube, and just sharing what it's been like to be on YouTube for the past 4 months and making about 20 videos. I think this is my 21st. And just sharing a few basic, simple things that I've learned on the way. Nothing special, no rocket science, so let's get right to it. I think the first thing that I've basically learned at YouTube is to not compare. And as generic as it sounds, to not compare yourself with others, I think YouTube has actually helped me realize that to a much more deeper level, mainly because I know what are my motivations. And I'll get to that in the second lesson, which is to know your motivators. But to the first point about why comparison is pointless, the main idea is that I know that 100 subscribers is not a big deal, especially when you compare it with all the Peter McKinnons or Matt Diavellas or Nathaniel Drews that exist out there. But that's the whole point. 100 subscribers means nothing when you compare it to all these people, but it does mean a lot to you or who is starting out in a new venture, or to me who's just started out on YouTube, because it's just a little milestone that I've sort of carved for myself. And sure, it feels great to have more viewers, more subscribers, and just people who can benefit from your content, but that's not the primary motivation or the reason why I'm doing YouTube, which brings me to the second point about knowing your motivators. Oftentimes it's easy to get sucked into the competitive landscape of any platform or game or business or venture that we're entering, and we tend to forget our key drivers for why we got into the thing that we are doing in the first place. But over the past few months, I have been cognizant of this reason and have thought to myself and have told myself that the reasons for why I'm doing YouTube are not to gain more subscribers or viewers. Sure, it will be nice to have them, but the main reason why I'm doing YouTube, making podcasts, writing newsletters, and just I'm in this content game, for lack of a better word, is because it's just a good little creative outlet for me. And that is something that I like going forward, because not only is it valuable and productive for others and for me, it's also something that forces me to be on track and consume the right kind of knowledge and understand it, process it, and aggregate it, and also create something new at the same time for others who might find it valuable. And that is something that is extremely rewarding, because it's just something that is really valuable, especially when I look back at where I started from and where I am today, which is obviously not a big distance, but compounded over a long period of time, it will, I'm sure, add up to something. And that is what I'm looking forward to. And the final lesson that I've learned from being on YouTube is to define your metrics. I know that YouTube has this YouTube studio and they have all these crazy analytics about your average retention time, your average viewership time, and how many views do you get in the first hour of uploading your video, and so on and so forth. And it's kind of easy to get sucked into that and measure your own creation with someone else's metrics or some externally created notions. I have been very, very cognizant of that, and I have made a resolve to myself that those are not the metrics that do matter to me. The metrics that instead matter to me are different. It's the simple messages of appreciation that I get from friends who haven't kept in touch for a long period of time, and who, after they've watched my videos, found it valuable and reached out to me. It's the messages from people who I don't know, who reach out to me via Instagram or Twitter or even Facebook and just say, hey, it'll be cool to have a video on XYZ and I really liked your content. And it's just that having these points of connection and knowing that my content is adding value to someone else's life is extremely meaningful. And especially, most importantly, when people say that I am able to inspire them in some form or the other to write, to start a channel, to just quote unquote put themselves out there, that to me is the number one thing that I really, really appreciate, and it just sort of lightens up my day. So I guess that is something that I really wanted to share. These 3 lessons of not comparing myself, knowing my drivers, and defining my metrics are the 3 simple lessons that I've learned from being on YouTube, which are not only sort of YouTube lessons per se, but are more of life lessons, because I know that making videos consistently over a period of time has definitely been hard, in addition to managing a full workload of classes, etc. But it's due to my direction and focus on these three things that I try not to get demotivated and try not to get swayed by externally created metrics or benchmarks. And that's simply a rewarding process, especially in the long term. So yeah, I guess that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and reaching out if you like my content. That really, really makes my day. And I look forward to creating more such videos. Thank you so much.